Hello and greetings everyone, this is Darth Coldness with an addition to a video that I recently made, my top 10 Sith list. And some people said, well, your top 10 list is lacking this guy and this guy and this guy. It's a top 10 list, I only have a spot for 10 people. But I will do an honorable mentions, though I can't name every single Sith out there in the honorable mentions, so let's just go on people that could be in the top 20 or somewhere around that. So others that should be mentioned but didn't make it on the actual top 10 list. Now, two of the obvious guys that should be considered in the honorable mentions at least are obviously Darth Vader and Darth Plagueis, because Darth Sidious. So because Palpatine basically is the only Sith in the known history that actually managed to rule over the galaxy. Well, to be fair, that's not even completely true, because he didn't rule all of the galaxy. He didn't rule in the unknown regions whatsoever. He didn't rule in wild space, but the known civilized parts of the galaxy. He managed to rule over all of that, which some would say, well, in the golden age of the Sith, didn't the others? Well, there wasn't really that much resistance, so let's just give it to him. Let's just pretend Palpatine was the only one to ever rule the galaxy. And that it was set up by Darth Plagueis and he just reaped the rewards of somebody else's work. He was still powerful, and George said he was the most powerful Sith ever, so yay George. Anyway, I still want to give him some credit, because he was more powerful than we see on screen at least. He was definitely one of the very few Sith capable of using the ability Force Storm, which could annihilate entire fleets out of orbit, which is a pretty powerful ability. That said, he was neither the first nor the most prominent user of it, and others managed to create Sith artifacts where the artifact allowed you to do that. So those people clearly had a mastery of Force Storm that Palpatine did not. But he's definitely a mentionable pick, because he actually managed to rule more or less, even though it was for an insanely short period of time. He is well known, let's put him on the list. Same for Vader. Vader was definitely powerful, but his force powers were super limited, and like many named Sith in history have more force power than Vader. And yes, he was supposed to be the most powerful force user ever, but he clearly was not. I mean, yeah, he wasn't anywhere near Palpatine at that level. Was he a strong duelist? Yes. Was he probably the most fearsome Sith Lord of his era that he lived in? Yeah, I'd say yes. I'd say definitely a yes to that. He was super powerful in the context of his own era. He was beating Dooku, he was beating Maul, so yeah, he was definitely up there. But if you look at his actual capability in fighting, you can name so many more that were more powerful than that. Again, with Vader, he's also a lot more powerful in the comics than he is in the movies, and he is more powerful potentially if he didn't have to live within his suit. So let's give him some credit for that. Anyway, he is still an honorable mention, but I wouldn't even put him in the top 20 really. As for other honorable mentions, I want to point out Darth Revan. Now, Darth Revan is somebody that is super liked in the fan community and one of the more interesting Sith Lords out there. However, Darth Revan, what did he actually do? Like, his force powers weren't really special, and the only reason he could do what he was able to do is because he found the Star Forge that produced armies for him for free. Without that, he wouldn't have achieved anything near of what he achieved. He wasn't that strong a duelist, he wasn't that strong with the Force. He was a philosopher of great potential, and he really left a mark and an imprint on the galaxy. He was a fighter, definitely, and he was definitely not weak. But is he in the top 10? Definitely not. He is worthy of honorable mention though. He is probably more powerful than Vader, but he's up there, you know. But he's not in the top 10. Um, as for others that I probably should mention, Ajunta Paul, probably because he was kinda the first real Sith out there. Um, he was also one of the ancients, and he was probably pretty powerful, but though his exact power level I think was never truly fleshed out or explored. His main stick was being basically the first Sith to grace the galaxy with his presence. And the first leader of the Sith, let's say it like that. He was definitely worthy of a mention, but how powerful was he? Don't know, really. We have Darth Tenebrous, not Tenebrae, the teacher of Darth Plagueis. He was very unique because he had a super analytical mind and tried to do force math, basically. He is an honorable mention because he had insight into the force and its workings like probably no one else. He at least had a very unique perspective, so honorable mention. Same for Darth Treya. Was Darth Treya crazy powerful? Nope. Yet some of the most powerful Sith to ever exist were her pupils, and her teachings are super unique, and definitely she's probably the wisest person in all of Star Wars and probably has the deepest insight of any living creature in Star Wars regarding the Force, so I'd give her an honorable mention too. Some of you will say, what about Darth Maul? I think he's insignificant in the greater picture, and he is not especially powerful or especially good duelist, so don't care. Same for Count Dooku. I know you guys love him. Darth Tyrannus. I honestly don't even want to mention him, but he's well known, so there you go. Darth Caedus, different topic, definitely up there. He actually managed to 1v1 Luke and walk away, so yeah, that's definitely an up for this guy. Darth Krayt, also pretty dangerous guy. One of the few surviving Jedi of Order 66, so yeah, I'll give him some props for that as an honorable mention. Who else should I mention? Let me think for a second. Just going through my head. Oh yeah, some people will ask about Darth Malgus. Darth Malgus, is he that powerful with the Force? I don't think so. Is he a great duelist? Probably. He's not bad, definitely not. Is he crazy powerful? I don't think so. I honestly don't. He is probably on par with or slightly above Vader. Is he that crazy powerful? I don't think so. But he is kinda one of the people that the community loves, so I'll mention him anyway. From the Bay Knight era, I am not sure if there's anyone that is powerful enough to be mentioned other than the ones that I already did. Like Vectivus wasn't crazy powerful. Gravid definitely wasn't that crazy powerful. Yeah, nah. I think Bay Knight era, there's nothing really more to mention. Ancient Sith, I'm probably guess Sorceress Sin could be mentioned because she created the Sith code basically, but was she that powerful? I don't know. We don't know, so not sure. Other ancient Sith men, there were many, but I don't think I'll do any of those. From the Old Republic Sith, I mean, technically speaking, we should mention Darth Nox here, because Darth Nox, with his ability to basically play Pokemon with Force Spirits and just collect them all and make them his own, and taking their power for himself or herself, whatever you want it to be. Yeah, Darth Nox is definitely worth mentioning as an honorable mention. Darth Nox doesn't do anything super crazy like any of the characters in my top 10 list, but worth a mention definitely, because theoretically Darth Nox could become theoretically the most powerful Sith to ever exist, because if he could make Mako Ragnos Force Ghost into his servant, and the same goes for the Force Ghost of Ajunta Pal and so many others. So he could just keep collecting Force spirits until he is the most powerful Sith in existence. Did that happen? No, but technically speaking, the story of Darth Nox isn't even finished yet. Who knows what will happen? But he has the potential to become the most powerful Sith in existence. Is he? Not at this point, at least, but definitely not even in the top 10, but definitely worth a mention because of the very unique abilities that Darth Nox has, who is technically speaking having a route to immortality. It's also rather unique, being remade by the Rakata machine and stuff like that, but kinda, sorta, somewhat. Same goes for the Wrath of the Emperor, who will get a honorable mention for being a badass, strong duelist and fighter. I guess stronger than Malgus, stronger than Vader, but again doesn't do any crazy stuff like any character in the top 10 list. He would be an absolute badass in the Clone Wars era, but since he isn't there, he is worth a mention, but not that much more. Another honorable mention that I want to do is Darth Maul, because Darth Maul is probably the most powerful Sith on the Sith Council. He is highly respected by everyone else, which should tell you something. He is, however, clearly by far inferior to Valkorion. So, how powerful can he be? I don't know. He's not in the top 10 for a reason, but I think we should mention the one Sith that actually managed to become a real Force ghost like the Jedi do. Like, not so much like Ragnos and the others who also became Force spirits, Force ghosts, whatever is the difference, but Darth Maul was the legit thing. He could stand there right next to Yoda and Ben Kenobi and Anakin as Force ghost in, I don't know, Ahsoka next season or something, because Darth Maul was the, I think, only Sith, at least the first, he was the first Sith Lord to be ever known to ascend to become an actual Force ghost, like the Jedi do. So I think that's worth an honorable mention, because he kinda unlocked immortality for real with this one. So definitely worth it. Some also asked me how I would place Darth Coldis, my own character, on this list. He wouldn't be on the top 10 list. He is an honorable mention though, because I'd say, well, first of all, it's my character, her, but he is not that crazy powerful. He is a good duelist, but he's nowhere on the levels of, say, Exar Kun or Tulak Horde, or I guess he could hold his own against Vader and Malgus, but I imagine him to be around the power level of the Wrath of the Emperor, which was also a great inspiration for the character. He knows Sith sorcery, he knows Sith alchemy, he definitely has some very unique Force powers, and he's definitely one of the stronger Sith out there, but he is not planetary scale dangerous. He is not wiping the floor with entire armies of Jedi or something like that. He's strong, I'd say, as about Wrath the Emperor kinda power level, but he's probably strong as, if not stronger than Vader, but he's not god tier level like so many others are. So yeah, that's that. Did I forget anyone important? Oh yeah, the question will come up. Kylo Ren. I don't consider him a Sith, to be honest. Kylo Ren is not even a Sith. He is a weak joke with definite self-control issues. He is weak, he's whiny, he is not a Sith at all. If you want me to place him power-wise, I guess Kylo Ren is weaker than most standard out of the gate, fresh out of the academy students of the Old Republic era. Like he's you know what? He's probably not even on par with most students of the academy on Korriban, or any of the other academies for that matter. Both in lightsaber skills and force power. He's pathetic, really. He is. I can't think of a named Sith that low in power, actually. I can't. He's he's cannon fodder. I guess most Republic and Sith troopers of the time are more powerful than Kylo Ren. Um, yeah, I don't consider him that. I may do one about Jedi in the future. I haven't decided on that yet because regarding Jedi, I'm not as well versed as I am with the Sith. Though, yeah, the question will come up, I guess. So that's that for the honorable mentions. With that, I wish you a fantastic day and may the force be with you.